Hoping that it works. Are we rolling?
We are.
Okay, so you know what to do, right? Kyle will be timing 3 fingers at 13 minutes, and 1 finger will be 15 minutes, and then you can wrap in a minute or so. Kyle will start the timer when you begin talking. So go for it when you're ready.
Okey-dokey. Hi, I'm Jack. Welcome to my TED Talk. Our call to action is to save the ocean. This is a good quote that I found in preparation for my TED Talk. The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. I find this touching because I feel like a lot of the time when we do have an issue, we kind of use the bystander effect where we feel like someone else will do it so we don't think that we need to. Or we think, well, I'm just one person and my impact won't make a change. And I think this is a big flaw that the human race has. My research question that kind of led up to all of this and brought me through my research was, how does the way we choose to live hurt the ocean around us? At first my question was just, how do we hurt the ocean, and in what ways can we change it? But I've moved more over to, how does the way we choose to live do it? Because I feel that, or I know that there are certain areas of our lives where we can improve and it would seriously benefit the ocean, but we choose not to. Before I start, I want to talk about why this matters to me. I've had a pretty deep connection to the ocean throughout my entire life because my family takes our vacations down there. One of my biggest outlets is sailing, which is on the ocean. We have a boat down in Mexico, and it's just a place I can go to get away. The way I can put my feet in the sand and look out at the sea, or hang my hands over the side of the sailboat into the ocean and look at the manta rays and the jellyfish and the dolphins. It's all just very healing to me. So one of our biggest problems, and we've all seen it in Durango, especially this year with our lack of snow and even the temperature it is outside right now. But if you haven't, if you didn't know that this crosses over into the ocean, it does. This graph shows the trend of rising temperatures in the ocean. The thinner lines down here at the bottom and the kind of mean of all these lines is years since 1982 going into the early 2000s. These two darker lines up here are more recent years. This is 2025, but I want to focus on 2024, which was a record-breaking SST, which is sea surface temperature year. And we reached above 70 degrees on average, which is insane and extremely warm for the ocean. Chlorophyll is pretty similarly related to sea surface temperature just because of how impacted it is by it. Chlorophyll is a green pigment in all ocean plants and marine microorganisms. It basically gives them the ability to take the sunlight and turn it into nutrients and food and thrive off of it. When the water gets warmer, chlorophyll becomes inactive, so it doesn't do its job, which pretty clearly leads to the falling off of other organisms. It's a vital indicator of phytoplankton health in the ocean and overall ocean vitality. Phytoplankton, which is very impacted by chlorophyll concentrations, is responsible for producing nearly half of the Earth's atmospheric oxygen, which is major, and without it, we have pretty obvious problems. Lower concentrations of chlorophyll in bodies of water directly lead to lower concentrations of other fish and other species because of how heavily they rely on it. Overfishing, this is where I started all of my research just because I know how big of a problem it is, and I've seen it going down to Mexico for trips. I've seen the mass amounts of fish that we pull out of the ocean. A good case study that I found touching about this and that I really like to look into is the vaquita porpoise and the totoaba and their relationship. So the vaquita porpoise is the smallest marine mammal ever documented, and it's basically been fished to extinction. There are believed to be less than 10 of them left in the ocean today, and this is directly attributed to overfishing. And what I found interesting about this scenario, or this case study that's not regular, is that they weren't ever targeted by the fishing. They were caught in the crossfire because of the totoaba.